What's up, gamers? It's Holmheim Mountain here again. Coming at you with another video and another notepad on my screen because this is apparently the only way I can motivate myself to make videos. So this video is on how to use Nesingwaries, which is this legendary right here. It is, on paper, our best single target legendary, and although there's not very many single target legendaries in the raid, I will be getting to Sludge Fist here hopefully pretty soon. And I figure it's time for me to learn how to play this, and if I have to suffer through learning it, someone else might as well suffer through learning it as well. It is growing on me, though, the rotation. I didn't think I would like it. I actually do like it a lot. And we'll get into it right now. We'll just, right away. What are the pros of Nesingwaries over Rylax for single target? Well, it has a lot more sustained single target. It has a high APM, which, in my opinion, makes it a more engaging rotation. A lot of people might disagree with that, and I'm telling you, if you don't like high APM, don't even craft this legendary. You are going to hate it. Mongoose Bite. We get to use Mongoose Bite this tier if you take this legendary. That's pretty cool. It scales a lot better off of haste, primarily because you're running Birds of Prey and Mongoose Bite, which we'll talk about more in a little bit, and you have very high uptime of Coordinated Assault. Again, we'll get into that later. What are the cons? The cons is there is 0 AoE scaling if you are playing this build, and there is so much as even an ad that spawns that ever has to be swapped to. This build is not good, and you should not run it. It is only good, in my opinion, on Hungering Devourer and Sludge Fist. I wouldn't even run this on Shriekwing, personally. And again, that kind of just goes into the next cons, which I kind of talked over. If you have to stop attacking boss or target swap, it's not good. And if you make any mistakes at all in your rotation, you are cutting the uptime off of your cooldown, which affects your performance quite a bit. Again, that's something we'll talk about when I start doing the rotation and showing you how to do it. So what are the important talents? Viper's Venom, Steel Trap, Mongoose Bite, Birds of Prey. Why do we take these talents? Nesingwaries gives us a lot of focus to cast a lot of Mongoose Bites, so we do not need Alpha Predator. Okay, we'll explain more about kill command usage when we get to the rotation. And Viper's Venom. Because we're dumping literally all of our focus into Mongoose Bite, we do not press this button unless it is glowing. Okay? That's important. Another important thing is Steel Trap over Bloodseeker, and that's solely because we have the Trapping Legendary, so an extra trap, obviously good here. Mongoose Bite over Tip of the Spear, because you're casting a lot of them. Like, a lot of them. And then this is where the build really shines, is attacking your pet's target with Mongoose Bite or Carve extends the duration of your Coordinated Assault by 1.5 seconds. So, in raids, I have been able to maintain this for, my highest was about a minute and a half. And it normally lasts for 20 seconds, which is very good. I think with better gear or with perfect play, it might be possible to have 100% uptime, but I'm not sure. That will probably require more testing. Yeah, those are the important talents. That's all you need to know. Covenant and Soulbinds. Night Fae is the best, Venthyr is the second best, and then Kyrian and Necrolord I don't know enough about, but I wouldn't recommend them. For Night Fae, for Soulbinds, Naya is the best, Dreamweaver is the second best. Naya is the best because Burrs is overtuned, and Dreamweaver is okay, which is what I'm using right now. I will not be using this when I get to Sludge Fist. But it's a 12% haste buff, which again, helps you maintain Coordinated Assault. That's going to be a running theme. Everything you do is to make sure Coordinated Assault is up for longer. If you're Venthyr, for example, Nagia is the good one, because it gives Thrill Seeker, which is just a haste proc that will help you maintain Coordinated Assault. As for Conduits, for Dreamweaver or Naya, you will only have one potency conduit available. That is going to be Stinging Strike, which just increases Mongoose Bite's damage by, in my case, 7%. Good. Trinkets. Trinkets are where things get a little tricky, and then we got all the rotation shit that I have to go over down here, and then I'll show you the rotation. Trinkets. What do I think are the best for this build in particular? If you're trying to learn this, okay? In the end, when you're confident with this build, you're gonna just sim your character, you're gonna run whatever's the best, you're just gonna suffer with less haste, and it's probably gonna suck. But to learn, I recommend PvP trinkets and a haste on use, because it will make it easier to maintain coordinated assault. And the more breathing room you can give yourself, the better. So in my case, I suck at PvP, so I have a 213 badge. This sims as high as some of my 226 trinkets, which I'll show in a second. Another trinket I would recommend for you is, where is it? Wakener's Frond. Gives you 700 haste almost for 12 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown. It's the same CD as Wild Spirits and Coordinated Assault. It comes from a world quest. It's very good. If you don't have one, you should try to get one. What else do we have in here? Quantum Device is a really powerful 3-minute CD. It'll help you extend it. It'll make you do more damage. It's good. You know, you're technically maybe burstier on a single target with this build because you have Mongoose Bite, which means that having any stat amp that can amplify that further, or like a power infusion, for example, is really, really good. And then here I have specifically the File. File's just really good because it's sustained damage. It kind of synergizes in its own weird kind of way, like with the build we're doing, because we're doing sustained single target DPS. The numbers are just pretty good. And then after that, I would just any high agility trinket. So technically for me, the highest simming setup I can run by like 10 DPS is replacing my PvP trinket with this 226 Decanter. And while Decanter does a fuckload of damage, the PvP trinket is 10 DPS worse and makes the spec feel miles better. That is obviously what I recommend. And then note here, sim your character. Okay, this is not a BIS list. This is what I recommend you try to play this spec with because it will feel the best. Now we get to rotation. The goal is simple. Maintain coordinated assault for as long as you can. All right? Inside, we have this broken down into 3 different rotation sets, okay? I did this before in my very serious guide between single target and AoE, but this is 3 separate things for single target. So there's a lot to follow here, and really the only way you can learn this is trial by fire. Just fucking try it. Inside coordinated assault. This is where most of your time is going to be. Here's generally how the rotation will look like. Step 1 is immediately dump all of your focus on Mongoose Bite. Do not press kill command. Actually dump all of your focus. Step 2 is press a trap, and this will give you all of your focus back. Okay? What do you do after that? You dump all your focus again. All right? Step 3, do not press Serpent Sting unless you get a proc, and use Wildfire Bomb whenever you get a chance to breathe. And I say whenever you get a chance to breathe because you have so many things that you need to be doing and watching that you might actually forget to press this ability, which is really weird because that's... I don't know. You'll see. Mongoose Bite just does a fuckload of damage, okay? Step 4, if there's more than one target and you're thinking about pressing Carve, you're playing the wrong build. If there's an ad that spawns, like I said at the beginning, do not play this build. If there's downtime on the boss, do not play this build. Do not play this build if you will ever, and I mean ever, at any point, even if it's for 1 second, don't play this build. It's not good enough, okay? All right, next thing we're going to look at is inside this buff. All right, so let's talk about this buff for a second. Whenever a trap is triggered, gain 45 focus and increase all focus gained by 100% for 5 seconds. So, 45 focus is about half a focus bar. The focus gain increases your passive regen focus. It increases your kill command regen focus. This is important. Right, and obviously the more haste you have, the more your passive focus will be amplified by the buff. All this math stuff that I'm too dumb to understand, so just know that it's good, but it's a 5-second window. So a good way to visualize this is we're juggling a 14-second Mongoose Bite window with multiple 5-second Nesingwary windows. Okay? Now we're going to go into this. We're going to activate the buff. Hold on. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. This comes in right at around step 2 in this coordinated assault rotation, okay? But this is what matters the most. Dump all focus on Mongoose Bite. Do not spend focus on Serpent Sting. So to activate the buff, we're going to press Steel Trap first. Steel Trap is just, it's the one that does damage, so you might as well get it on cooldown. Step 2 is dump your focus to, I wrote half, but really a little bit less than half is ideal. And then you'll kill command inside the buff, right? And then we'll dump focus again, and we'll kill command again. Ideally, in this 5-second window, we get 2 casts of kill command, but we are trying to not press kill command outside of the buff because it's a waste of focus. We don't have Alpha Predator. It's very important. And then step 4 is dump focus again. So I wrote some things here. Do not press Serpent Sting inside this buff, ever. Not even with a free proc. Never press it. Do not press Wildfire Bomb inside this buff, ever. Do not press it. Do not refresh this buff before it runs out. You're wasting a lot of cooldowns to do that. So what does this mean? We have a 14-second Mongoose Bite window, and we have 2 Nesingwary's windows, ideally inside these Mongoose Bite windows. And the other 4 seconds that we won't have in Nesingwary's, that's where we're going to use things like procs. That's where we're going to use Wildfire Bombs to try to not get 2 charges. But if you get to 2 charges, it is a DPS loss, but it's not end-all be-all. It's not a big deal. And like myself, I assure you, your first try, your first 10 tries, your first 20 tries maybe. I don't know. It depends on your gear probably. You're not going to have permanent uptime on this shit, okay? So what does your rotation look like without Wildfire Infusion, without all the Alpha Pred, all this stuff? You just follow a normal priority, try not to cap your bombs, maintain your Serpent Sting. Here you can use it without the Viper's Venom proc, it's okay. And you can use traps here too to get big Mongoose Bites outside of CDs, okay? It's just, you're just kind of playing normally. Dump your focus, trap, dump your focus, use Serpent Stings. It's got a flow, and you'll catch the flow pretty quick. Ideally, this rotation down here does not matter at all, because the goal is always to have 100% uptime on coordinated assault. Now I'm going to give you guys an example, and I've already recorded this for 13 minutes, which is way longer than I thought it was going to be, and if I fuck up the rotation now, I'm going to feel really, really stupid. So, let's do this together, team. What's this look like? We're going to hit this Raider dummy over here. Put a fucking skull on him because he's about to die. Don't have any pre-pots. We don't have any food. We don't have flasks. We don't have anything. We just have my Fantasy Rune for Council. Please kill the fucking boss, dude. Get me out. I'm in prison. So how do we open? We're going to Serpent Sting just so the dot is up. Right? We're going to drop a bomb so we're not capped. We're going to pop all of our cooldowns and we're going to dump our focus. Okay? We're going to go from there. I'll put this here so you guys can see what's going on and all the buttons I'm pressing actively. And we'll go from there. I'll try to talk about what I'm doing, but I might not. We're just going to try to see how long we can maintain this for. I also have no weak auras, so you might cringe at what my add-ons look like, but I have my buff bar right above here. We're looking for NTA, Nesingwary's, and we're looking for coordinated assault. Alright. Harpoon in, pop the bomb, pop all our cooldowns and lust, dump focus, steel trap, dump focus again, kill command, dump focus, kill command again. We're not capping. Okay, buff is gone, trap again, keep dumping Mongoose Bites, kill command, dump again, kill command. Alright, buff's gone, use our shit. Mongoose Bite again, go, buff's gone, bar trap, Mongoose Bite, Mongoose Bite. That's one kill command. Alright, that kill command was after, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. So here we don't have any traps to press, so now is just kind of when we use our procs. Steel traps up, dump focus. Alright, maybe we get one more. Cool, we got 2 procs. Now we use our things. Freezing trap, Mongoose Bite, dump focus. We only get one kill command in here. We're capped on bombs. Use bomb. Mongoose bite. Use our last trap. Keep mongoose biting. We didn't get a reset there, so that's unfortunate. But you can kind of see the spec has like a flow to it. We're essentially just constantly dumping. We try to get at least one kill command in when we have the buff. And then obviously now that we're in execute, we're going to start doing that. And here's where it gets scary. We have about 5 seconds left, but we do have traps. So now the rotation's going to change a little bit because we're going to try to extend this for as long as we can. One second, steel trap. Oh, we only got a couple seconds left. So mongoose bite is #1 priority, and it's gone with 15 seconds left on the debuff. We're doing about 5.7k DPS at the time of coordinated assault dropping. So let's paint a picture. What does this look like in a raid fight? That means that's just the damage I'm dealing. My damage is so sustained and centered around one ability with this build that whatever DPS you're pulling, you're holding it. Okay? And again, like, literally the only burst you have in your entire rotation with this is Wild Spirits. I don't even know where Wild Spirits is in my spellbook. I have no idea. It's just Wild Spirits. Coordinated Assault is up permanently. So, or ideally permanently. And that's the rotation. I'm sorry that this is rambling, and if this, like, isn't coherent enough for people to follow, like, I can try to do this again. But just me practicing for, like, an hour, and we have 15 seconds loss on Coordinated Assault. Again, this is not a raid fight. Not the best indicator of how it would look in a real raid fight. But again, that just comes down to, like, maximizing your cooldown usage. So if you have to go to range, obviously use your ranged abilities. Try to use Aspect of the Eagle for when you're going to be out of melee for the longest period of time. And that's it. That's the video. This is how you play this build. I will hopefully get some logs on Sludge Fist with trapping treads, and we can come back and talk about it at a later date. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I also stream on Twitch now instead of YouTube. The idea is I can just download VODs off of Twitch and make a highlight video, and I don't crowd my channel with a bunch of random streams. So, yeah, peace out, guys. Good luck.